My friends, let me just start by saying I hate YouTube Shorts, but this video might just be the most topics I've ever covered in one video, including musical instruments, but a whole lot of other things too. I'll tell you about all of it right after this. Hello my friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Workshop. It is Monday, January 30th. You can kiss January goodbye. Just one more month out of your life, it's gone forever. The older I get, the more important that sounds. You know what? I hate YouTube Shorts. But just like Mike Morgan of Outdoors with the Morgans, I think I'm going to have to fold to the pressure. You know, I want to get past 100,000 subscribers so bad it's just killing me because I want that stupid little plaque. And they say the way to get there is to do YouTube Shorts because that's what they're pushing. And, you know, it's supposed to bring in more viewers and more, you know, subscribers and it's, you know, whatever. So you're going to see a few YouTube Shorts coming. They may not be in the same format that everybody else puts them out in, though. I think most of mine are going to end with, well, was that short enough for you? We'll see how it goes. I don't really know. Okay, I told you this is going to have so many random items in this. Well, that was random item number one. Random item number two is I went to Harbor Freight and bought me some, can you see that there? Double extra large men's work gloves. Here's another one that I've already opened. I bought two pair. Double extra large, remember? I feel like O.J. Simpson tried to get the glove on. People always ask me, why don't you wear gloves? Well, here's the reason. That's double extra large. Look at that. It doesn't, I mean, it cuts across there by a good ½ inch is not, you know, is in the air. And so I can't open my hand up, you know, and the same way here, they're about, I would say, ½ inch to ¼ inch there, you know, and my fingers feel like they're poking out the ends. I told you, I got big hands. Double extra large. Why don't I wear gloves? Well, now you might know. Okay, that's random item number two. Random item number three. Actually, it's not so random because this is mostly what I talk about, is this guitar. I've got the neck back on it. You can see my rig I had on here. I did have a clamp on this too to keep the fretboard down here over the top, and I still got this tight. I'm going to go ahead and take that loose. That was to hold the neck down as tight as possible to the body. And I think it's going to be pretty good, although I haven't checked it yet. I'm checking it right now in front of you, so let's see. Hopefully this clears the bridge. Let's see, does it? I don't know, it looks pretty close. Right on the bridge, boy. I mean, that's okay. I'm okay with it just going right to the bridge, but I'd rather have it clear it by a little tiny bit, but either way, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. At least that's what I'm telling myself right now. Moving on to random item number four. Well, random item number four is, looky what I just found back there. Can you see it? I'll put an actual photo in the video so you can see it better. It's a 1905 Barber dime mint mark O. And there's a small mint mark and a large mint mark, and this one I believe is the large because the small one is the rare one. So I'm pretty sure I've got the large one just based on that alone. But the thing about this is it's been in the ground 115 or so years, and it's absolutely pristine. It's just perfect. You really couldn't find one in any better shape. I mean, this thing looks like it just came off the mint. It really does. It's in excellent condition. And I've looked at it under a microscope, and I can barely see the least little tiny nick out of one little edge there. And I mean, it's so small, it's not even funny. So it's at least very fine condition and near uncirculated condition. That's my opinion. And therefore, it's worth a good chunk of change based on what I've seen. Well, I found a whole lot of other things back there too, and I'll show you a few of those things right now. I might need your help identifying a couple of them. The first one is this little copper cup. Now, I don't know what this is, and I don't see any writing or name or anything on it. I scrubbed it off with a little brass brush, and I still don't see any numbers or anything, and looked under a microscope. It's kind of a copper little, I guess you'd call this a round box or something. My best guess is as to what this is a primer box for either shotgun shell primers or the primers you put on your muzzle loader. And I say primers, I'm trying to think of the right word. I can't think of words sometimes, and I know the word, I just can't think of it. But anyway, basically it's the same thing. It's just a primer that goes on a percussion cap is the word. So it may be a holder for percussion caps. I know the modern percussion caps you buy for modern muzzle loaders come in a round little metal box like this, and except it's not quite this deep. So back then they probably gave you more. Now they don't give you so many, so it's a smaller box. But anyway, that's what it looks like. Is maybe that's what it is, but that's just a total guess. It could be something for medicine, or it could be almost anything, but it's pretty cool, and it is, you can tell it's really old. I mean, it's a real thin copper and whatever. So moving on, I'll show you the next thing I found. Okay, the next thing I found was this, and you probably won't be able to see all the fancy on this. I'll try to hold it real still. Try to turn it lightly different ways here so that you can see the fancy on this. And on the back side, it's got these little places to slide a pin through. And I'm pretty sure this was for a woman's hair, in the back. You would put it in your hair and hold your hair together. And it appears to be copper with maybe some old nickel plating on it or something, but the plating is pretty much gone. You might be able to see traces of it there. But that's my best guess, is some kind of a hair thing for ladies. So I'm going to say that I found Sarah's hairpin. I'm not sure what the better word for that is. Hair clasp or pin or something. But and if you don't know who Sarah is, and if you're new to the channel and you don't know what any of this is, I have a 280-acre farm, and I have discovered 2 old house places back there that no one knew about. I found them on an old map, and it had little dots where those houses were located. So I went back there with my metal detector and started finding hundreds and hundreds of things. And I mean literally hundreds and hundreds of things. I'm only digging a small percentage. I'm just digging the ones that have the most repeatable, best signals. And so this was what I found over the weekend, along with that coin I showed you, and along with this can, and a lot more stuff. Trust me, I found a ton of stuff. I only planned to show you guys the best stuff. The rest of it was mostly shotgun shell head stamps, and even some of those are pretty cool, because I think I found another one that I've never seen before, and it could be very, very old. And if it is, I'll show you that too. I mean, here's just a jar of the better stuff. Or a bowl of the better stuff. And there's just tons of shotgun shell head stamps in here. I found 2 more white lead bullets. Now, don't get me wrong, I found a bunch of modern lead bullets too, and they're not white. Only the ones that are white are these really, really old ones. I think this one is a fragmented off of a lead ball. This one is a very heavy lead ball. This piece here is a lot heavier than it looks. It's a pretty heavy ball. I would say this was probably at least a 50 caliber, if not bigger. As I mentioned, I found a whole bunch of shotgun head stamps. Don't know what they are. I did find one more unique piece that I'm going to ask you if you guys know what this is. Let me find it here. So the other mystery piece is this little thing right here, and you think that doesn't look like much, and when I first saw it, I didn't think it was anything. But then when you look on the back side, you can see a little clasp there on that side and on this side that was bent over. So this was stuck onto something, and those were folded over to keep it together. Now, my first guess is that it's about the right size and shape for maybe like a collar insignia type deal. I don't know the right terms for the military stuff. I never was in the military and never really studied it, but I thought maybe this was something for the collar, or maybe it was another little metal on the shirt. But it looks awful cheap for that, to be honest. So that's probably a wishful thinking thing. I was hoping maybe it tied to the Civil War. So if you guys know anything about that, let me know. More than likely, it may have just been some kind of a decorative thing on a bracelet or something like that. I really don't know. I'm just totally guessing. Maybe it could have been something to do with horse tack, but quite honestly, it's a little lightweight for horse tack, I think. Grew up on a horse ranch, so I know a lot about horse tack, and it looks a little lightweight, little flimsy for that, to me. Even if it was on a bridle or something, I just don't think that's what it is, but it could be, I guess. And then, of course, I found just little pieces of, you can just see there the little cracks in it, china type stuff or porcelain or whatever it is. Well, you can't really tell what they belong to. The archaeologists, when they're out here, those are the things they like to look at. They like to look at those little pieces because those are the things that helps them date the site. At least that was my impression from their last visit. Let me look and find the head stamp that I wanted to tell you about, one that I have never found before. Well, this is similar to ones I've found, but it's definitely different also. It's UMC Company, number 10, so it's a 10 gauge, but on the bottom it says smokeless. So smokeless is one I have not found before. I found quite a few by UMC Company, but not smokeless. So when I looked it up just now, it says 1892 to 1902. So there you go. Definitely very old. Found lots more shotgun shell head stamps. Found lots more miscellaneous steel and metal in the ground. But I won't bore you with all that. Those are just the best things I found this weekend, with the best thing being that 1905 silver Morgan dime. And it is in pristine, perfect condition. I can't believe how good it is. And just to give you a quick explanation of where I found it, I'm calling the two different house places. The one place, I'm calling it the one that has the remaining rock wall. So I'm calling it the rock wall home place, which is I think the older of the two. And it's the one that's closest to the front of the property, even though it's right about on the middle line of the property in terms of length. It's right about dead center. And then there's one a little further back that I'm calling the pond house place. And I imagined back then that they probably walked between the two house places. So I just looked and saw where I thought they would walk. And sure enough, I went through their metal detecting, and that's where I found the dime. Right out in the middle of a field, just in a place you wouldn't expect, and yet found the dime there. Of course, I went on through and tried to find more, but that was the only thing I found other than shotgun shell head stamps and bullets and things like that. Well, that's going to be about it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the content this morning. Look for some shorts coming down the road, and like I said, most of them are going to probably end with, "Was that short enough for you?" I'm kind of making fun of it. Maybe that'll catch on. You never know. You never know what's going to catch on. We'll see you tomorrow.